what's up? Mic checking, mic checking. Wiseman in the house. Yeah, you showed up late last time. Now you're early, brother. It's good to see you. Got about 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. What's going on, guys? We put together a killer show for you today. Left, guys. 3 minutes until we're starting this amazing show. Jimmy Bright. What's going on, brother? It's good to see you. Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive, is here, ladies and gentlemen. Stewie, the man. What's going on, brother? It's good to see you. About 2 minutes left, guys. 2 minutes. Well, I'm ready. I don't know if you guys are ready or not, but we're getting ready to start this thing up, baby. I'm very excited for tonight. We did an in-depth study to see if we could trick you guys on a few. We got a good couple of perfect setups in there and a couple of ones that might create a little chaos amongst us. We will see very, very soon. We got about 10 to 30 seconds left on the clock, and we're gonna get this baby started. I hope you guys are ready. All right, it's time to get it. $1,400 in less than 2 hours. All right, I don't know about you guys, but the last time we played this game, it was absolutely phenomenal. We had a blast, and this is going to be your first question right here, whether this is a good base breakout or not. But before we get started, you know I want to say hello. What is going on? Troy Wiseman is in the building. Troy, it's good to see that you were early, because I'm going to point it out, the last time you were late, brother. You came in right at the end, but I know you rewatched the video, so you're all caught up on everything. So glad to see you made it in. Glad to see that you're early. It's good to see you in here. Jimmy Bright, ladies and gentlemen, in the building. Hello, everybody, he says. Dan, Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive. You better believe he's here, baby. We got Beef Stewie in the building. What's going on, Beef Stewie? It's good to see you guys. And I really hope that each and every one of you are ready for this. I have an exciting show for you tonight. It looks like the connection's excellent, and believe it or not, the poll is up. We got a poll. The poll's up, and it's looking gorgeous. But I tell you what, things are looking just fine. Dan Bob says he loves chaos. Well, you're in the midst of chaos with Debbie surrounding you right now. We'll give it just a few more minutes and let everybody else pile in here. Guys, we are going to have an amazing show. We got about, let's see, 3, 6, 9, that girl fine, 10, 11, 12, about 13 questions. So we're going to get through all of these in less than an hour. And then, of course, we're going to go over any questions that you might have. So thank you so much for joining early. Thank you so much for waiting. And I hope you guys absolutely love this. What are we doing here? Well, as the question on the poll implies, do you have a deep understanding of the trend and base breakout strategy? So that's exactly what we're going to go over today, is the trend and the base breakout strategy. If you don't have any idea, if you haven't heard of it until now, as 36% of you so far has voted, that's just fine. What you are doing here is learning a new strategy. So just know that all answers, there is no wrong answer, okay? You might go with the majority. You might not understand what the hell's going on, but by the end of this, I promise you, you're going to have a better understanding of what a base breakout is and what a trend breakout is, because we're going to show you what looks to be picture perfect on some of these trades. So that way you see what we are looking for in a trade. There are some beautiful setups out there, and we do have a few. What up, Covey? Covey's in the building. We got Senpai in the building. Oh, Senpai, notice me, Senpai. Just got in. How's everybody's day? Senpai, thank you for asking. My day has absolutely been amazing. A good, relaxed day in the market while just hanging out with the kiddos and chilling. Let's see. Opportunity to have a better, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Dave, your camera's a little blurry. Not again. Not again. Well, we can fix that really quick. We'll just do one of these, one of those. We'll configure the video. We'll maybe do one of these. We'll see if this will. It always does. There's always something. There's always something going on, man. Let's see. How's that? Oh my gosh, I don't know what I did, but I clicked the right button, baby. All right, I think enough is in here. Let's just go ahead and get this started. Will you hear this sound? That means you only got a few seconds until the answer is to show. All of these answers that you will see are going to be no right, no wrong answer, but we will tell you what I would expect to do. Some of these are going to be false breakouts. Some of these are going to be beautiful breakouts, but when we look at these, we need to have an understanding that the average daily range percentage is above 5% and the RS rating is above that 90% that we look for. So do keep that in mind, okay? So the very first one that we have up in front of you, we get a big push up after earnings. It starts to consolidate. Over this 10-day moving average, it breaks down. It's also following the 20, and it starts to get tight. My question for you is, if this were to break out of this basing area on volume, would you take this trade? What's up, Dan AU? Dan AU, the question is, would you take this trade if it broke out right here on volume? Would you take this? There's no right or wrong answers, but I would love to see a lot of you in this answering so we can get a better understanding of what you would do. So give it a few minutes. I'll give you a few minutes. I'll take a little sip. And you let me know, is this a base breakout that you would take? What's up, Muley? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm going to turn on some lo-fi music for us, guys. If the music's too loud, Dan Bob, just let me know. What's up, Muley? It's good to see you, hon. Glad to see you in here. Let's see. We got Beef Stewie saying, yes, he would take it. David, your mic volume is low. I'll go ahead and crank that soldier boy. There we go. Mic volume, I turned it up a little bit. I turned it up for you, because turned down for what? Jimmy Bright says, yes, he would take it. Of course, if you guys ever were to go into it, right? If you ever wanted to tell me why you like the base look of this, you know, what exactly you like about it, you're more than welcome to go more in depth, because I, of course, always like for you to go a little bit more in depth. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Music's way too loud. There we go. How's that? I'm going to make sure everything sounds a-okay for your sweet, sweet ears, people. Dan Bob Bomb Dan's on it. Okay, guys. We only got about 30 seconds. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Way better on the mic volume. Good, good, good. I'm glad. Music's very loud. Okay. I hope I turned it down low enough for you guys. Let me know. Let me know, baby. Your sweet, sweet ears. I think I got it. I think I got it now to the right amount for everybody. All right. Covey says yes. Sounds excellent. Good, Senpai. Now, Senpai, are you taking this trade, yes or no? We only got a few seconds, guys. Let me know. Would you take this base breakout? We're getting ready to play this. It's only going to be just a few more seconds here. Few more seconds. Would you take this base breakout? All right, 3, 2, 1, and we are going to play this. So, alrighty. So, we hit the play button, and here we go. This is the base breakout. This is where we would take this on volume right here, folks. There's the volume. Here it comes in, and now you can see as it's breaking out, it's still holding that 10-day moving average. It's still holding the 21-day moving average, and it's continuing higher. So, we've already made money on this because it went up 2R. We're taking out half. And then right here, it comes back down to that breakout area, and we stopped out. So we made a little bit of money on this trade, and if we just zoom this, we can make this, we could finish this whole thing out. This is where it ends up being. But this is a nice base breakout area, and you can see if you would have taken this base breakout, risking that low here, this low, you could have risked about 1.43%, and it moved up about 4R, almost 4.5R on this trade. So this is a pretty good trade right here, guys. I do like this setup. I do like this. Let's see. Troy's Wiseman, don't think I would. Looks like I'm alone. Hey, Troy, and that's fine. This might not be the perfect setup for you, but you need to have an understanding of why you wouldn't take this trade. Now, I like this trade because, one, we get a big push up on volume with the earnings. We pull back and we hold most of these gains. If it doesn't close the gap right here on earnings, that's a good sign. It means it's holding most of its gains from the earnings and the investors like what they have done. Then it pushes up and it keeps hitting its head on this area, but holding a 21-day moving average. So then it starts to get tighter and tighter right here, right before the breakout. So you end up getting a 1 to 4 if you caught the bottom to the top, but we know for a fact we're never going to catch the full thing. So we're at least going to get an R out of this, and this is a good trade, okay? So I like it. You don't have to like it. Of course, there are no right or wrong answers in here. We're just trying to get a better understanding of the base and trend breakouts. Now that we have a full house, do me a favor, guys, take a look at my screen really quick. We have a vote poll right here of 14 people. We got 14 watching, so it looks like plenty of people voted. But if you haven't already, please do. We want to know if you have a deeper understanding or not. And if I refresh this page and we take a look at the likes down here, sure enough, we got 11, but 16 people watching. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Do me a huge favor, guys. We don't ask of much. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and we will keep on keeping on. Next up, guys, we have this beautiful stock, another basing pattern. The question is, would you take this base? Now, some of you said yes for that last one. Only a few of you said no on that last one. But what about this one here? We're, of course, going to assume that the average daily range is over 5% and your RS rating is over 90. We're going to do that for each one of these. The question here is, guys, would you take this base breakout if and only if it broke out of this area on volume? So this is a $50, $55 area. This is your this is the base right here. I'll just mark it out for you. You can see it's been basing out for quite some time now, about 3-6 months-ish, okay, from it looks like July to January of the next year. So roughly around 6 months, 3, 6, 7, about 7 months. Yeah, I would say 7 months. We're not going to count this area, but basing out here. The question is, would you take this trade? Would you take this basing breakout? We have new higher lows down here. We have a base out of the top over a 6 months period. The question is, if this broke out on volume, would you take this trade? That's the question, guys. Take your time. Figure it out. What would you do here? Would you take this? Do you have conviction on this base? If you do, tell me yes. Let me know in the chat. If not, I want to know why. If you don't always have to tell me exactly why, but of course I would like to know why. And of course, make sure you are live. Make sure you are live, guys, because we want you answering. So if you look at my screen, click this live button right here. Make sure you hit live so that way you are up to date. So here is the YouTube. Click that live button. Always make sure that you are live so that way you are seeing exactly what I'm talking about while I am talking about it. So that way you're not behind on the chat. So Beef Stewie says yes, he would take this base breakout. What else? Who else? Covey, would you take this base breakout? Dan Bob, are you taking this base breakout? Senpai, I'm going to call you guys out. Dan AU, are you taking this base breakout? Jimmy Bright says yes, but cautious, a little choppy. I see that. I see that. A little choppy here. It is starting to tighten up a little bit here, but yes, I can see what you're saying. A little choppy here. Very cool. Norman Conklin, what's going on, Norman? Good to see you, brother. Norman says yes. Dan Bob says no, he's not taking this. What else? What else you guys got? We got a few more in you. A few more in you. All right, that sound means we only have about 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and we're going to hit the play button. We're going to see where this trade wants to go. Would you take this setup? Here, let me zoom out a little bit for you. Let's take a look. Would you take this basing breakout setup? Covey says yes. Dan AU says yes. Predator says yes, and I would go in expecting history to repeat itself. No, constantly hitting resistance. I like that point of resistance, Covey says. Senpai, we're imagining that it's breaking through the resistance, though. We're not taking it right here. We would take it after it broke through the resistance on volume. If that changes your mind, let me know. Troy Wiseman says no, he would not take it. All right, guys, I'm going to get ready to press play. All right, here we go. I'm hitting the play button. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Boom. volume. This is where you would get in because the volume pushes this through, and now we start to head up. And I'm just going to go ahead and zoom this up for you guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, this was the best base breakout I've ever seen in my entire life. This is actually NVIDIA's $500 base breakout area, and it followed this 21-day moving average for quite some time before actually starting to base out again up here. Now, it may look a little choppy, but you have to understand, and the resistance might actually put you in some fear, but the longer the base and the harder the resistance without it breaking down any further should show you some confluency here when it breaks out on volume. So multiple times NVIDIA back here at the $500 area hit its head once, twice, broke down, came back up, down, came back up, hit its head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times right here, couldn't get through, came back down, came back up, hit its head multiple times again right here, guys. Like, it's just over and over. But here is what is beautiful about this trade. Each time it starts to make new higher lows. And then when it finally breaks through this big area of resistance, it does it on volume. So we always want to keep a very close eye. And Senpai, thank you so much for saying that. He says, oh, I see. But no, it does not change my mind. Very cool. So this is exactly why we want to focus on these, because we are trying to train our brains into realizing what's going on. He says, lovely trade, guess I was wrong. And that's totally fine to be wrong. That's the whole reason why we're here, guys. I even have trades on here that I have put on here specifically to show you, even though you see this trade and it looks like a very beautiful trade, you aren't always going to be right. And that's what leads us into risk management. So even if you were to take this trade and it were to fail, you at least have a great area to risk off of using that day's low, okay? So I like this trade. I actually did take this trade on this basing breakout. The thing is I sold out way too early. Covey was there when I sold out on this. I sold it way too early. I made some good money, don't get me wrong, but I sold out on this way too early, guys. But this is NVIDIA, and we could finish playing this out just so you can see. It's fun to watch this thing kind of do its thing here. You can see it had another basing area. This wasn't nearly as clean, this basing structure on this second basing area. It wasn't nearly as clean. I'm sorry, this one here, not nearly as clean as the first basing structure, but it did base out, created this cup with handle, and broke out one last time before starting to base out again. And then, of course, we have this big breakdown that you guys are with me on today. So I hope you guys like that. Let's see, what do we got in the chat here? Troy's Mind said, looked like it was tight for 3 months looking at the time. Yes, sir. Predator, you can't invest without a healthy dose of fear. That is true, but you have to master it before profit. That is very true. Jimmy Bright says, I actually took that trade and made money. That's what I'm talking about, Jimmy. Yes, sir. That's good. Yeah, and it's funny because when you look back, especially if you're not looking at your charting system and you're looking at somebody else's, it's hard to really tell. But yeah, this is a nice pattern here. It's a nice basing breakout. All right. Next up, we have this setup right here, guys. The question is, would you take this base or this trend breakout? So I'm going to draw the trend breakout for you. You can see here, it pushes up, noting the volume here. It pushes up. We're going to just assume that the RS is above 90. We're also going to assume that the average daily range is over 4% or 5%, okay? So you get a big push up over here. It kind of comes down, breaking moving averages, pops back up, and forms a trend here. My question is, would you guys take this trend break? Would you take this trend break if it was on volume? Would you take this trend break on volume? Are you going to have this on your watch list, actually? Let's just do that. Let's change the question up here. Would you have this on your watch list? That's the real question here. We have this structure. We have a nice pattern here. Would you have this on your watch list? Would you be looking at this for a trend breakout in the near future? If yes, tell me why. If no, you can tell me why as well, and I'll give you a few minutes to answer this. Make sure you hit that live button. Make sure you guys are up to date and ready to rock. All right, let me know in the chat. What do you guys got for me? Are you guys taking this trade or not? I'll zoom out a little bit to kind of show you the bigger picture here. We'll zoom back in here. I drew a trend line out for you on this. Is this something that looks good to you? Let me know. The RS rating meets our standards. The average daily range meets our standards. We're not paying attention to earnings on these. We're going to act like earnings doesn't exist. We're just looking at the pattern. Jimmy Bright says yes. What else we got, guys? Let me know in the chat. You taking this or not? I'll shoot some love your way while I am waiting. All right, we got about 30 more seconds, guys. Dan Bob says yes on watch list, but earnings, yep, earnings do ruin it. But we're not going to pay any attention to earnings while we do these because we're just trying to train our eyes. But you're absolutely right. Earnings ruins a lot of setups. It does. It ruins a lot of setups. Yes on watch, B. Stewie says. All right, all right. Few more seconds, guys. Let me know. Is this a structure? Is this a pattern here that you would keep on your watch list? Is this trend break strategy something that you would want to see? Kobe says no. Troy's Wiseman says I would watch it for volume. Okay, okay. All right, just a few more seconds, guys. Got about 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, we're going to play this out here, and then we're going to go over it. We're going to tell you why. Here I hit play. We get a little breakout of this trend breakout, and then it breaks right back down and just kind of takes a dookie, okay? So this is actually pretty recent here, guys, and this is why I'm going to say, let's do this one here.
Brother,
The reason why I don't like this stock is because there's no push up on volume here, okay? This big push up here is not on volume. It also pushed up on volume here, and you could find something in a setup over here, maybe even right here. Look at this setup here, guys. I like this setup. This is a setup. This could be a base and a trend breakout right here, but it doesn't break out. It actually starts to break down. And then it breaks through all of its moving averages, trades sideways, and pushes back up on no volume. No volume. So I wouldn't even have this one on my watch list because not only did it break through its moving averages, but it never popped up on much higher volume, okay? The volume that it did pop up on was back here after earnings, and it ran up and formed. I really, really like this. I like this right here where it gets really, really tight. If this were to break out here on volume, I would definitely want to take this, okay? Because it's getting really tight. Big push up on volume down here. It follows the 21-day moving average, holds, it gets really tight. But after it breaks down and breaks all of its moving averages, I wouldn't even have this on my watch list. All right, so this one was difficult. This one was difficult, guys. It was definitely hard, but I wouldn't have this on my watch list. I don't really care for this one, okay? And this one happened to break down. Even if it did break out, though, guys, even in hindsight, I want you to know that this wouldn't have been on our watch list, okay? If it did something like this, let's say in this area, it breaks out on volume and then starts doing one of these and gets tight, and we have a basing pattern up here, then we might watch it to break out of this area on volume. But right here, that I wouldn't consider that a good play, all right? So that's what I got for you. Yeah, the moving average is curling down. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very good eye right there, Beef Stewie. I like that. Yeah, the moving averages right here are curling down. Now they're definitely curling down. Here, you can see the 50-day was kind of curling down. When we take trades and we're looking for stuff, you want to see these moving averages kind of curling up. As you can see right here, the moving averages pointing up, pointing up, pointing up. So this looks like a good trade. Very good eye, Beef Stewie. I like that one. All right, next up, we have this trade right here. Let's take a look at this trade. What do you guys think about this one here? I'll just draw this out. All right, this is on the daily. The RS rating is over 90. The average daily range is over 5%. Would you take this trade on a breakout right here on the 5-minute? And if so, tell me why. Why would you take this? Would you take this trade? I need to know. I need to know, brother. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys awake or not? Are you just sit back, kick back, relaxed? Are you too scared to be wrong? Don't be scared. We are a squad here. We are a group here. We want to learn from each other. And if you put your answers in, you're being honest with yourself. We want to know, would you take this trade? And if so, and you got the confidence, tell me why. If you wouldn't take this trade, just tell me why. If you don't have a vote, if you're unsure of yourself, you can just say unsure. But we would like you to be, we would like you to join in. We would like you to be a part of this. That is your song, Kobe. Kobe's looking at, Kobe was trying to teach me how to do this. He's the young man. He's like, everybody's going to leave now. Everybody's going to leave now. That is your song, Kobe. Conklin says, no, where's the volume? So that's right here's the volume right here, Conklin. So here's the volume, a big push up right here. And now this is the volume dry up. So I'd have to, and now we're always going to assume, would you take this trade on a break of this trend on volume? Okay. So would you take this on volume if it broke out of this area, Conklin? That's the question. So yes, there is no volume down here. That's what we call volume dry up. So that's actually a positive thing when we have a lot of volume and then a volume dry up. Dan Bob said, Kobe says stop. I know everybody's gonna leave. Like this old man in here, he's trying to riz people up. Okay, I'm done. I'm done, Kobe. I'm done. The manager says I'm done. Let's see. Jimmy Bright says yes, surfing 10-day and tight. Predator says yes on volume. Dan Bob says love it, full account. All right, guys. Dan Bob says he's in full account right here. Dan Bob says this is his winner chicken dinner. We're just going to go ahead and put Dan Bob's lunch right here. Let's see if he's right. That's Dan Bob's chicken right there. Senpai says yes, holding trend and be patient for breakout. Wait for the retest, then enter. Okay, so I like how in-depth you're going on this, Senpai. You're looking for a retest. B. Stewie says, is this serve? No, this is not serve, actually. Very good question, though. Very good question. This is not serve. All right. All right, we only got a few more seconds, guys. A few more seconds. Will Dan Bob get to eat? This is Dan Bob's if we win. So Dan Bob. Let's see if Dan Bob's going to get to eat. This is Dan Bob's chicken right here if he gets to eat. If this breaks out higher and Dan Bob is correct, then we'll see if Dan Bob gets to eat some food. Dan Bob's chicken right here. Oh, Dan Bob. Dan Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive. We only got a few more seconds, guys, about 10 more seconds. And we're going to see, do we want to take this winner, a chicken, a dinner? Only a few more minutes, guys. A few more minutes. Let's see what you got. All right. I hope all the votes are in. It's the name on his shirt. It's not Poet. It's not Poet, I promise. All right, here we go. Ready? We're going to hit play. Bada bing, bada boom. There's the volume. The volume on the 5-minute, I promise you guys, was not very good, but it does break out. We don't have a ton of volume that comes out here, but you can see here it does break out of this area and it heads up higher. So assuming that this trade did break out on the 5-minute in volume, yes, this would be a proper trade to take. I actually use this as a great example. The reason why I didn't actually take this is because on this day, on the 5-minute, I did not get enough volume. The volume actually came in the very next day, and I did not like the risk reward on this. But this is the setup that we are looking for. It's set up. It breaks out on volume. It gets tight on volume price contraction, or volume contraction pattern, excuse me. And then it gets really, really tight on that 10-day moving average. And guess what? Dan Bob is eating some food, baby. Dan Bob, you made it. Winner chicken dinner. Absolutely. You're rich. He says, I'm rich. That's great. Yes, Dan Bob, you get to eat tonight. Your family gets to eat. Congratulations. So let's see. Next up is going to be this one right here. All right. So the question is, guys, would you take this trend break setup? So I'm going to draw the trend out right here. All right. And this, I think, is going to be a mixed bag here. Is really the question here. What would you guys do here? And if you don't understand, if you don't see it, tell me you don't see it. If you do see it and you like it, tell me that you see it. Tell me why you like it. The question is, would you take this trade if it broke out of this on volume? Okay, would you take this trade? Or would this be on your watch list? You know, it's a dual answer. You can answer both ways. But would you take this trade if it broke out on volume? Is this on your watch list? Do you like this trade? Give it all to me, baby. Give it all to me. Let's see. You're paid in chicken parts. Dan Bob says he's paid in chicken parts. Bruh. That's disgusting, dude. That's disgusting. You got to feed your hamster somehow. Keep the computer running. That's right. All right, guys. Few more minutes. Let me know. You taking this trend breakout? Is this for you? We got a big push up on volume. We got that volume contraction pattern right here. We're riding a 10-day. We're getting tight. Beef Stewie says no. Senpai says on the watch list. All right. What else you guys got? Just a few more minutes. Just a few more minutes. Norman Conklin says yes on the trade and on the watch list. I like it. I like it. I like the confidence. I like the confidence there. Jimmy Bright says watch but had volume and didn't move. I like that. That's a good answer too. I like that. You know, I didn't even really pay much attention to that. That's what I like about these here. There's actually a few that are like that. So we get a big push up here on volume, right? So the bar is resounding. I'm not going to try and sound. Big bar, big volume, little bar, big volume. So there's difference here, right? And look, another big bar of volume, but a little bar of price. And then you can see the volume price contraction. Now, another big bar of volume, but a little bar on the price, a little candlestick on the price. Okay, so I like that, Jimmy. I like that. Covey said he did have this one on his watch list, and he did trade this one. So, yes, he would take this. Would you still take this? Dan Bob says, I know this trade. I rooted for it, but victim of market. All right, let's play this out, guys. We got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and run it. All right, here we go. We're trying to break out. There's no volume. Trying to break out, no volume. It trades sideways day after day after day. And then look at this. It starts to break down here on no volume, comes back up, starts to break out here. And now I'm going to stop this right here before we continue. I want to tell you guys right now, I wouldn't have taken this on after this, like after it breaks the 21-day moving average. Now it's off my watch list. Now it's off my watch list. Just so you guys know, we're going to let this continue to play out. There we go. All right, starts to break down, starts holding that 10-day, starts doing a nice slow grinder here. And look at this. It starts popping up, starts heading up, reaches its all-time high, breaks above it just a little bit. And now this is where we are at, okay? Now, there's a few things that I want to point out, and this is why I say there's no right or no wrong answers. Dan Bob, actually very good guess, but no, this is actually SMMT. Very, very close, because KOSS looks very, very similar, and we can bring it up. But this is what I always like to point out. We get a big push up on volume. Jimmy Bright, I really like what you pointed out, where we get these big volume bars down here, but we're not seeing it on the price candlestick, right? We're seeing a lot of volume, but we're not seeing it on the price action. So those are what I call volume anomalies. Then you get a big push on volume and it doesn't move anywhere. That's another warning sign. I also don't like that it didn't fill this gap. So if we're going to draw a trend out, my favorite trend, and I'm not saying it has to be like this, but my favorite trend is when it comes up, down, up, down, up, down, and gets tight like that. That's my favorite type of trend. And you guys can see here that it has this big empty void, It has this big empty void here. I don't really like that, okay? So I would have kept this on my watch list, like you said, Senpai. I would have kept this on my watch list. Again, there's no wrong answers, guys. You could have taken this. We actually know Mo Wealth did end up taking this somewhere around here, and he let this thing run and played it, and he did well with it. But me personally, I wouldn't have taken this. I did have it on my watch list. If we would have seen a big amount of volume maybe pushing through here, I may have tried it after a base breakout, but I just didn't like it after it broke this 21-day moving average. Now, Dan it did barcode. You're right. This is more barcoding. And now same thing with KOSS. And I really like, Dan Bob, I got to give it to you. I really like that you pointed out that it looked like this. That is chart identification. If you can take one chart and say it looks like this chart, you will actually I brought up Trade the Matrix. He will do that too. He will say, this chart looks a lot like this chart, and he will use that to try and play off of it. Not that history repeats itself, but it can rhyme at times. And as you can see, KOS looked quite similar as it just started to barcode and failed. Now, will it work out the same way as SMMT where it breaks down and starts to head back up? It very well could do that, but in this case, I don't care for it. I did have it on my watch list. I did not play it, and I took it off my watch list after it broke down here. So very, very good, guys. I think that was a really good one. And I think everybody answered it very appropriately, okay? All right. Next up is going to be this chart right here. And before we head on, if we got any new people here, welcome. My name is David. We love to do charting, analysis, and all that good mumbo jumbo. If you have not been here before, make sure you hit this live. This is a live broadcast, so hit this live button. It's right here on your screen. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are here for you. We have an amazing community. We thwart out the scammers. We are here for you. We have a beautiful community. And if you want to be a part of that community, go down into the description down here, click the more button, and you'll see a link tree. Click that link tree, and you'll see we have a YouTube, a Discord. You can join the Discord. And of course, if you want this platform that we are using today, you can get it for absolutely free just by clicking this Trading View button right here. It'll take you to a link so you can download it for free. If you end up wanting to get the Essential program, it's only $15 a month, but you don't have to sign up for it. There is zero pressure here, but it does help this channel out a lot if you do end up signing up for that Essential plan. So if you're thinking about it, use my Trading View link, please and thank you. Of course, we have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. But of course, if you're trying to learn these trend-based breakout strategies, click on that YouTube and scroll down, and you will see between our boy Covey and myself, we have put together this amazing free trading school. We even show you how to set up your Trading View platform after you download it. So download it, learn the base breakout, learn the trend breakout. We even have risk management. We learn what are candlesticks if you're that new, what is PDT and how to get over it. We have plenty of learning things for absolutely free. All you have to do is go to this trading, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, guys, and now we are back to the video. All right, the question was, guys, would you take this trade? Now, this is on a smaller time frame, but we are looking for this specific strategy. Is this a trend break strategy that you are willing to take? That is the question right here, right now. Is this something that you would want? So if I drew the trend break strategy out, I would just draw it from here, okay? And we can see a big push up on volume. It starts to follow this. It starts to follow the 21-day moving average really well. It starts to tighten up here, but would you take this if it broke out on volume? That's the question. Breakout on volume is what we are looking for, and make sure you guys are live. I want to make sure that you guys know exactly what you're seeing. So would you take this trade? That is the question, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah. Dan Bob says yes. Absolutely. What else we got? Dan Bob, awesome job on that KOSS, man. That's awesome that you put the 2 and 2 together. Talk to me, Jimmy Norman, Beef Stewie Senpai. You guys taking this trade or not? You taking this trade or are you sitting on the sidelines? Talk to me. We got a little bit of a breakdown here, but it soaks right back up. You could even draw, you could even do one of these if you really wanted to. You could do one of these like this. If you wanted to. Some people like to, some people don't. Norman says yes. Jimmy says yes. Beef Stewie says yes. Jolene, sweet Jolene. Jolene, I thought you hated me. I'm just kidding. I'm glad you're here, Jolene. And you would take this too? So I actually asked this in our Discord a few days ago if you guys would take this trade or not. That's why I saved it for today. I wanted to see if you guys would still have the same answers. Yes, it is looking pretty, and I have to agree. I actually did take this trade. This is on a 5-minute. Predator says, no, for my taste, it's crossing moving averages. So now this is on a 5-minute, and I totally get that. But because it's on a 5-minute and not a daily time frame, we can't use these moving averages. Okay, but Predator, I'm not taking from what you just said. I like that you have that visual, but we're looking at this on a 5-minute, and we're only looking at the structure on this, not using the moving averages, which is a little different. I don't usually do that very often, but yes, Predator, I have to agree. If this was a daily pattern and we were using the moving averages, the 50 is below the 200, so I totally understand why you're answering that way. The question is, would you take this if these moving averages did not exist? If we just did one of these and said, blinded by the light, would you take this if it broke out of this trend right here on volume? Then would you take it? And you need to answer honestly to yourself. You don't have to answer me, but you need to answer honestly because it's only going to help train your eye. This beautiful tool in TradingView is absolutely amazing that we can actually do this, guys. It's really, really helping us out. So the question is, would you take this trade? And we are very, very close to getting our answer here. So would you take this trade? And about just a few senpai says yes, he would take it. All right, very cool. Now remember, guys, this is on the 5-minute. You guys need to understand the trend and base breakout strategy, not so much the base breakout. And I don't know, Covey, would you agree with me? The base breakout isn't necessarily on a shorter time frame. At least I don't see them very much, or I'm not as good at taking the base breakouts on a smaller time frame. But the trend breakout strategy I have found is in confluency with multiple time frames, definitely. Let's see. Predator says, I did say above, unless the volume came in too strong to ignore. Okay, that's cool too. I like that. That's a good answer. Okay, so this is Apple. This is a trade, intraday trade, and this one was very interesting. So we get it to break out of its trend right here. It comes back, it retests that area, which, by the way, Senpai, I'm going to stop it right there. Senpai, I like how you brought up the retest because a lot of people don't know about the retest. So you must have been trading for a little while to know and understand this retest, because a lot of times traders will get stopped out on the retest, and Apple did exactly that. We have this beautiful structure, this trend pattern. It base breaks out, it comes back, and it not only retests this 21-day, even though it's on the 5-minute, it's following a 21-day. It retests this trend breakout area and starts to head up even higher. After clearing high of day, it starts to fail. Okay, and I made a little bit of money on Apple playing this trend strategy. I risked very, very small because it's an intraday study that I'm trying to do, and it's very, very small. Okay, very, very small share size. This is about my 3rd or 4th one that I've taken, and they're working out. They're working out. Of course, the ones that I win, I wish I would have taken more. The ones that I lost, I'm glad I only took a few shares. You know, so we're working on this study here. But as you guys can see, this is what I consider a fake breakout, and that's why I always like to take after 2R. Okay, so there's Apple. We have this beautiful trend strategy, trend breakout strategy on the 5-minute. A big push up on volume, then it pulls back and it trades sideways on a volume price contraction, just like we would look at on the daily. It breaks out of this area, and as Senpai likes to see, a retest of the breakout area, and then it takes out higher, clearing this all-time high for the day, and then it starts to break down. Okay, because it breaks out, and then you see on the 5-minute a big wick here. That's a bad sign. When it can't get back above it, that's an even worse sign, and that's when you would want to start cutting. Now, of course, it's easy to see this in hindsight, and we are looking at this in hindsight, but what we want to train our eyes on is this strategy that you see right here. I like this strategy. I like it. I played this strategy. I made a little bit of money on this, and then after the fake breakout, it broke down, and if you guys don't know, this thing really, really broke down after this. So as you guys can see, this thing just, woo-wee, look at this, you know, huge, huge breakdown after that. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Yeah, Jolene says Senpai gets bonus points. Hell yeah. Fitting trend and 3rd to last candle shows bullish power. Yeah, I agree with you on that for sure. Jolene, I was paid in chicken earlier. He was paid in chicken earlier. Which one was it? Right here. Here you go, Jolene. Just for proof, Dan Bob gets to eat because he was paid in Dan Bob chicken tenders. So, all right, guys. Here's another one. Right here, thanks to Covey, he brought the heat for me a little earlier. I had a few questions for him. I had plenty of this set up for you, but I said, Covey, you know, I need some tricky ones. I need some tricky ones. He brought this to our attention here. The question is, if this were to break out right here, would you take this trade? Would you take this trade if it were to break out here? You know, or better yet, would you take this trade on no, we're going to stick with the original question. This is a basing setting up here. Would you take this trade if it were to break out here? Okay, that's the question. Beef Stewie. Beef Stewie. Dan Bob, you got the chicken butt. Question is, do you have any noodles? You got to have oodles and noodles, bro. You got to have oodles and noodles, that's for sure. And if you guys haven't already, vote on the poll. The question is, do you have a deep understanding of the trend or base breakout strategy? 29% say yes, this is my setup. 14% say no. 38% say still learning but getting better. And 19% never heard of it until now. Congratulations if you found us and this is your first time ever hearing about the trend-based breakout strategy. This is what has made myself and many others plenty of money. We follow a lot of your timeless strategies, and the trend breakout is one of the timeless strategies, followed by many of your greatest traders like Mark Minervini, William O'Neill. You have Oliver Kell, Chris Quilamagi. Okay, that's why we study these. We're trying to train our eye to see what is best in this strategy. Okay, I see a small trend breakout right here too, actually, just while we're here. I see a nice trend breakout right here. It creates one new higher low, so that's nice. It like kind of undercuts right here and rallies back up, and then it breaks out on a little bit higher volume, but I don't know if I would have actually taken that volume. Looks like there was another one down here. That's another good one right back here. But the question is, we're looking at this basing top right here. As it pushes up, it kind of breaks down here and then gets soaked right back up, starts following the 10 and 21 day moving average. What would you guys do? Let's see. Beef Stewie says yes. Jolene says no. Jimmy Bright says yes. Covey says never got tight. Okay. Predator says yes on volume. Dan Bob says yes. Be nice to be a little tighter. Yep, I agree with you. Norman says I would take this. Jolene says I don't know how to read the charts well enough, so I would not take. I like that very honest answer. Very honest answer. And I will say this, guys. I like this basing top here. I would like to see it kind of get a little tighter underneath it right here. But if it were to break out on volume, I would take it as well. Let's see what happens here. All right. It starts to break down here. It gets down below the 10 and 21, and look at that. Now, we're going to pause it here. Okay. Now, I still stick to everything I said. If this were to break out of this area, yes, I 100% would have taken this trade. I think quite a few of us would. But the thing is it never broke out. And that's why we don't play anticipation trades, people. That's why we don't say, okay, well, this looks like it's setting up here. It looks like it's setting up, so I'm going to take this trade. No, we don't do that because shit like this can happen at any given time, okay? This, if you would have played this in anticipatory or played it, oh, it's, you know, trying to catch a falling knife. Oh, well, it held up for so long and I'm going to play it off the 21 day. No, there's no volume here. Nothing's happening. And then look, big sell-off. That's why we want to take a breakout on volume. This is less likely to happen. All right. Senpai, I like that. Not sure. Going up on the watch list. Yeah, when in doubt, throw it on the watch list. Keep a better eye so you have a better understanding of what's going on. Honey, I lost all of our money. Honey, we're going to have to sell the kids. All right. And your noodles. Don't sell the noodles. All right, next one up right here. Tell me, guys, what would you do? I'll zoom out, let you see. We'll zoom in here. Let's take a little peeky gander. We get a big push up on volume. It looks like it's starting to trade sideways here. Let me know in the chat. Would you take this trade? Would you take this trade? I like the look of it personally, but what do you think? What do you think, guys? We're going to assume the RS rating is above 90. We're going to also assume the average daily range is above, well, this one actually was like 19%. So what would you do? Would you take this trade or would you pass? Are you going to smash or are you going to pass? That's the real question. The real question. Would you smash or would you pass? Bruh. Let me get a little sip here. You guys tell me. I want you to tell me if you would take this trade. And we're going to assume, okay, we're going to assume when it does break out, if it does break out, that there's volume. So would you take this trade if it broke out on volume? Okay. We need to have volume on these breakouts, guys. We have seen a few work without the volume, but I feel like when there's volume to back it up, you're riding on the shoulders of those giants, the big guys that are buying up the big amount of shares. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go in with this guy. That's why we take on volume. And we use the 5 minute to tell us whether or not that volume is there. Okay, so the question is, if we were looking at the volume, would you smash? Would you smash? Smash, yes or no? Norman Conklin said, I would take this trade. Jimmy Bright says, needs at least another day or two. Norman Conklin says he would take it. Predator says, smash. Dan Bob says, one more inside day and I'm in full account. I want more chicken. We're putting the chicken up on the board, baby. Let's see. We got the chicken up here. We got the chicken. Dan's hungry. We're going to put it up here. We're going to put it up here. Let's see if he can get his chicken. Dan Bob needs some chicken. Chicken for my Dan. Chicken for my Dan Bob. Here's Dan Bob right here. All right. Dan Bob. Is Dan Bob going to get his chicken today? That is the question. Dan Bob says, one more inside day and I'm in full account. I want more chicken. Jolene says, on volume after it passes 470? 470. Okay, so you want it after it breaks out of this area. You want to play through the break of that top. Beef Stewie says, yes on volume, but it is extended off the 10-day moving average. I wouldn't consider this really that extended. I really wouldn't. I like it. I like it. I wouldn't consider that extended, Beef Stewie, but I do understand what you're seeing here. It is like, it's not squatting down on the 10-day. And yes, like everybody else is kind of saying, like Predator says 2 inside days. I like that. I like the inside days. I like you guys saying the inside days, and that goes along, Beef Stewie, I take it back. If this had another inside day, or even 2 more inside days, this thing would be so tight, and that 10-day would be squatting right up underneath it. So I like this, guys. I like what you're saying. Covey says, doesn't look super tight. No, needs a couple more days. I like that, Covey. Yup. Senpai says, I'm with Dan. I need some of that chicken. Senpai wants some chicken. Senpai, we're all out of chicken. We're going to have to find you something else, brother. We're going to have to find you something else. You're going to have octopus. All right. Senpai gets octopus. All right. You don't get, not that big of a piece, though. All right. All right. We got Dan Bob. We got Senpai's octopus. And we got Dan Bob's chicken up here. All right. Let's see. That looks like Beef Stewie. This one, it does look like Beef Stewie. It does. Oh, my gosh. You're right. That's going to be Beef Stewie from now on. All right. Let's see what we got here, guys. We'll see what the next day gives us. It kind of comes down, kind of breaks that 10-day a little bit. Next one. Oh, it breaks down to the 21-day. It's starting to get tighter on the 21. Now it breaks the 21-day. All right, we're going to let this play out and see what happens. And you guys, I love seeing this. Now, I really like this. I totally forgot what was going to happen with this one. I totally forgot. I really like this trade. If this were to break out of this trend break on volume and got above the previous day, I would have taken this on volume. But I gotta say, guys, I have got to say, and Dan Bob is not, he didn't take this because it didn't break out, right? It didn't break out. He wanted one more inside day and then he's in. It didn't give us another inside day. It actually broke out of that inside day. So nobody goes broke here because nobody took this trade, okay? Changing it to 455, Jolene says. Yeah, okay, yeah, just right up above there. Let's see. Hey, if I'm getting octopus, I need some portions. I hear you, brother. Nope, you get the whole octopus. But nope, nobody wins. Nobody gets chicken dinners because this trade ceases to exist. It never actually broke out. This thing actually broke down. And that's another great watchful eye on this beautiful trade because it starts to set up. It looks really, really nice. I really like what you guys said, the inside days, a couple more inside days. Beef Stewie said he would like to see that 10-day get really tight up underneath it. It was still a little extended. I like the inside days. 2 more inside days. Predator wanted 2 more inside days. That boy wanted that sucker twite like a tiger. All right, beautiful look, guys, beautiful look. Holy crap, time goes by so fast, you guys, so fast. All right, would you guys take this trade? We're gonna run through these, so I'm not gonna give you much time to do this, but let's say we draw this trend breakout. It's already broken out. Let's imagine that it broke out on the 5-minute on volume. Would you have taken this trade? Would this be on your watch list? Would you have taken this trade? That's the question for you right here, right now. Right here, right now. We are not going to give you that much time. We're going to give you about 30 seconds on this, and then we are going to run through it because I have about 4 more examples I want to get through, guys. I'm having a blast with you guys tonight. This is a lot of fun. Smash or pass, baby. You gonna smash or are you gonna pass? We already broke out. We already broke out here, guys. Are you taking this trade or not? Jolene, I'm glad you're loving it too. This is a lot of fun, guys. Oh yeah. You smashing or passing, guys? A smash or pass? Yeah, I can smash. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Beef Stewie says no. Jolene says hell no. She didn't say it like that, though. It's choppy. Pass. Jimmy Bright says no. You guys don't like this trade? No? Just a few more minutes? A few more seconds. A few more seconds. All right, guys. Come on. 10 more seconds. I hope you're live because we're gonna get through these now. Predator says yes on volume only. Norman Conklin says no. What else we got? We got about 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. Enough for me to get a drink. All right, here we go, guys. I'm going to play this thing through. No matter what happens, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. All right? It kind of breaks out of this trend a little bit and breaks right back down. And I'm going to tell you what I don't like about this, okay? You can see if we zoom out or even if we zoom in, this thing is not following any of its moving averages. Nothing, okay? Matter of fact, it broke through all of its moving average and broke below its 200-day moving average before starting to just rip through back and forth, back and forth. So it's not following any moving averages on the daily here. All right, so it's not looking good. It's not a good, clean structure. You can see it had a big burst of volume over here. There was a big burst of volume over here, and it pulled back. And then it traded sideways, and then it broke out again on no volume. There's no volume here on the breakout when it created this trend break. So I don't like this at all. I wouldn't even had this on my watch list, okay? So this is a dud trade. All right, Senpai, I'm almost out of work. We got more to go. Yeah, we got a few more to go. Let's see. I'm almost off work. We got more to go. Yeah, we only got 4 more to go here. All right, we're going to do these quick, guys. So AMR, that's the question. AMR, guys. AMR, would you take this base breakout? So this base breakout starts in May 2022 and goes all the way till August of 23. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. 7 months, a big 7-month period. You can see if we zoom in here, we got new higher lows starting to form in the 7 months, and then it starts to ride right up against this resistance area. This resistance of looks like 185. 185 is its resistance area. You can see it's kind of got this, you know, this kind of look, and we get rid of all of these. You can see it's a little bit cleaner here. You can see here's the basing structure here and the new higher lows forming right here, and then more new higher lows. Would you guys take this? Beef Stewie says yes. Dan Bob says we're near done. Jimmy Bright says yes, he would take this. Covey, would you take this? Big push up here on volume, guys. Then a pullback, and it starts to create this pennant, really, this bullish pennant. And then it bases out at the top here and creates a trend line up to the upside. We only got a few more minutes, so make sure that you put in your vote. Oh, yeah. Who's eating? Covey says yes. Norman says yes, he would take this trade. Anybody betting the farm on it? All right, just about 10 more seconds, guys. 10 more seconds. Spicy pepper. Predator says yes. All right, here we go. Playing it out, guys. Let's see what happens. Look at this trade. A beautiful push up here. A beautiful push up, and then it makes another cup and handle and pushes up even higher. But we're going to stop it there because what I want to show you guys is this. After it breaks out of this area, if you would have taken this breakout, this area right here at 178 on volume, and you would have risked this low of day, you would have had a trend. Come on, am I hitting the shift? You would have had a trend. You would have been risking 7.34%, okay? And then this thing would have moved all the way up to here, which is 38%, guys. That's huge. That is huge. So if we just did one of these and we just show you on this, your risk would have been here. Your reward could have been as high as, so we stop, we break down at the 10-day moving average. So there, your risk reward ratio is 5.34. So you would have gotten at least 5.34 risk reward on this. So that would have been a good trade, a very good trade. All right. So very nice job on that. All right. Next up is going to be this stock. This is a basing breakout that we're going to take a look at. So I'll just draw the basing structure right here for you. Do you like this? Do you like this basing structure? Would you take this trade if it broke out of this area on volume? Okay. Even if it had a few more days, we can even say it does one of these, you know, gets a little tighter before it breaks out. But would you take this trade when it breaks out right here? Would you take this trade, guys? That's what I want to know. No FOMO, Jolene says. No FOMO. Yeah, no, we don't want fear of missing out. I do. I still get fear of missing out, especially when we get quite a few traders in here, and especially, if I'm stalking a trade like RGS. If you guys remember, I was stalking RGS for days. Dan Bob's eating chicken dinners. We were stalking RGS for days, and I wanted in this, and I did not get in this trade simply because we didn't get the volume on the 5-minute, and I knew a few of you were in this, and I was so like fear of missing out. Like, I'm supposed to be in this trade. I've been stalking this trade. I called this trade out. It was in our daily watch list. Oh, it was tough. Now, I stuck to my rules, so I'm proud of myself. But, I definitely had some degen fear of missing out on that one. All right, let's see what we got, guys. We only got a few more seconds. Make sure you put in your vote. Norman Conklin says yes. Beef Stewie says yes. Covey says looking good. Needs to get tighter. I agree. I would definitely agree. This thing would be a lot nicer if it got a little tighter here. Something like this. Let's say it does one of these and gets tight like that. I would love to see that. Let's see here. Predator says yes. Flag pattern. I like it. Yeah, it does look like it's flagging here. Like we could just draw it up even all the way from here. Nice flagging pattern here. Let's see what else we got. On volume, yeah, I agree with you, Predator, 100%. Jolene, yes. Beef Stewie, watch this like a hawk. Tua never took either. No, you never took this one? Or RGS. I don't know which one you're talking about, but I agree. Jimmy Bright says not sure. That's fair enough, fair enough. Well, let's see how this plays out, guys. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. We're going to play this out. All right, we get this like indecision candle where it breaks out above and then breaks back down. Now, what I would like to tell you guys is a few things here. One, I like this. I like this basing trend right here What I don't like is that it breaks out and then it breaks right back down. It breaks out and it breaks right back down, and it starts to get choppy here. So I really like the answer where we want to let this get tighter, right? Give it a few more days, like how we drew it out as it's getting tighter underneath the 10-day. So I like that nobody's just going to take this like boom right here right away. It's not like a 5-star setup, right? But if it did kind of do one of these where it goes up, bumps, and gets tighter right here and lets this 10-day moving average kind of roll up into it, yes, that would have been a beautiful trade. So I really like the answers there, guys. There was no wrong answers. But yes, this is kind of what we're training our eye to look like or look at. So if we go back to this, so far right now, this is going to be on my top watch list. I'm going to be watching this like a hawk Tua, and I'm going to be seeing if this thing can get a little tighter, maybe, another 2 or 3 days, riding right up into this 395 area, smacking its head, getting tighter and tighter, riding that 10-day moving average before then the volume coming in and breaking up to the north side. But instead, this thing did not do that. What it did is it kind of broke out above, and it wasn't on any more volume than normal, so I don't think you would have gotten into this. But this got really wide and choppy. This is not an inside day anymore. So that ought to tell you, it's not looking good. And then another outside day. It gets big, wide, and choppy, just kind of breaking out of the top and coming back down. That's a very bad sign in this. And then boom, it starts to break down on higher volume. So congrats to you for keeping an eye on that. Yeah, broke with no volume. Very good call. Very good call, Predator. Absolutely. All right, guys, here next up. And before we go on, I just want you to do me a quick favor. We only do this a few times during the show, but make sure you hit this like. Make sure you hit this subscribe button. I'm just going to refresh here to see where we're at. We're up to 15 likes. Thank you guys so much for hitting that like and subscribe button. We're going to go ahead and end this vote right now. If you guys haven't voted, well, too bad. You can't vote anymore. And we're going to just read this out to you. We got in here, do you have a deep understanding of the trend or base breakout strategy? 37% of you said still learning but getting better. And I'm going to tell you right now, I said the same thing. I voted the same exact thing, guys. Why? Because even though this is my main strategy, I am always learning. I am always getting better. I'm always refining my technique because that is how trading always should be. I don't care if you are a mastermind in this. If you talk to the head guys, whether it's Mark Minervini or Chris Quilamagi or William O'Neill, they will always tell you there is something to learn in the market. So if you did the 37% that are still learning with me, thank you very, very much. 25% says, yes, this is my setup. I agree there too. If it's your setup, we're going to keep on keeping on. Never heard of it until now, 25%. Well, welcome to the show, baby. Welcome to David Worrell. Hit that like and subscribe button. We are learning something new every single day. We have an amazing community with a heart of gold. So hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and join our Discord very, very soon. Never heard of it until now, and 12% said no. 12% said no. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, we're going to go right back into the show. Here we go now. Smash that like, Beef Stewie says. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. All right, here is T. Whoa, we're not supposed to say what it is. Nope, I don't think that's one that we're supposed to look at. Here we go. All right, last one, guys. Last one. So wake up, it's family busters. Are you taking this trade? That's the question here. This is a chart right here, and we get a big push up on volume, a pullback that holds. It starts to trade sideways here, and we have this trend, this nice trend coming down here. If this were to break out of this area, would you take this trade? I have an answer. You should have an answer too. If you talk to O'Neill, you're in trouble. Oh, I know, brother. Yep. Some of us need a crystal ball. Some of us are oracles that can talk to the dead. Rest in peace, William O'Neill. I tell you what, that man has helped so many people. The IBD investors, I still watch their YouTubes. I still pay close attention to what they talk about. They're awesome. Jimmy Bright says, yes, he would take this trade. Who else? Talk to me, guys. We only got a few seconds, about 20 seconds. We are going to go over whether or not we're going to take this trade. Oh, yeah. Talk to me. Talk to me, baby. Damn, Bob, you taking this trade? You making some money? You going to eat? You going to eat on this trade, baby? Talk to me, baby. Last one, guys. Last and final one. Are you smashing or are you passing? We're always going to assume that it has volume on the breakthrough. Oh, here they come in. B. Stewie says yes on the V. On the V, baby. Volkswagen, yeah. So on volume, yes, you're taking it. Norman Conklin says yes. Jolene says yes. Dan Bob says, David, your hair is amazing today, and your teeth are so white. Thank you, Dan Bob. I appreciate you. He also says, the 200-day concerns me. Very good eye there. He said, I would be watching. Okay, I like that. Yeah, so the 200-day is just now starting to kind of curl here. The 50 is below that 200-day moving average. I like that. I like that you brought that up because I wasn't even really paying attention to any of that. I would stay even with that still. If this did break out, I would like to see it break out on volume, and I would still take this. But let's see what plays out here. So you can see here, it actually breaks through that 21-day moving average. This would be off my watch list now that it broke down from that 21-day moving average. I'm no longer watching it. But I would have to say, this right here, this would 100% be on my watch list. Matter of fact, if this, let's say, you know, it was a day sooner, I might even take this here if it broke out on volume, you know, just because of this base that it made, you know, and it's really, really nice. I really like this stock, and I really like this trend that it built. But because it didn't break out this day, I'm not in this stock. I may have got into here and then stopped here, but I'm not in this stock because it never broke out here. It actually broke down from there. So I'm not in this stock. But let's see. Yes on volume. Yep, I agree with you. Stop would protect from the suspicious drop that didn't hold value. Yeah, I 100% agree with you guys. Look above at what said at the value drop. Yeah, I gotcha. I'm not exactly sure what value drop is exactly. I dislike the flat or down 200. Yeah, I agree with you on that. If it's flat or it's going down, yeah, it's not the best moving average to hold. It also, you know, it's on this huge downtrend, but hey, it is what it is. I like the setup. It looks really good, but yeah, I gotta agree with you guys. So absolutely, guys. Sometimes we say, brother, the 200-day ain't moving the right way. But all right, guys, thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You know I'm going to see you on the way out right after the outro. So thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you like these, make sure you let us know. Let me know. Let somebody know. Tell your friend. Tell your mama. Tell her to join. We want to make sure when we do these that you guys love these and you're learning something from these. And, of course, if there's any way I can make these better for you guys, let me know. We want to make this the best possible learning show that there is when it comes to trend and base breakout strategies. We want to make sure that we are entertaining you as well as teaching you a little something, as well as I'm learning a little something when I go through these as well. It is what steel sharpens steel. Peace, guys. I'll walk you on the way out. I'll usher you on the way out. $1,400 in less than 2 hours. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are awesome. Appreciate each and every one of you. Norman Conklin, you are welcome, sir. Predator says equals value drop. Predator, after the push up, it broke down, didn't hold value. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Predator. Thank you so much for joining me, Predator. You are awesome, good sir. Appreciate you being with us. Dan Bob says, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here. He said, oh yeah, Discord tomorrow night on a deeper dive. We're going to deeper dive. Maybe we just choose one stock tomorrow, and we do a deeper dive on that. Jimmy Bright says, good night. Had a good time learning as always. Jimmy Bright, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your dedication to this channel. You are awesome. Jolene, take care. You are awesome. Nice exit. Hell yeah. I agree. Let's see. Who else we got? I want to make sure I hit everybody up. So we got Norman, Dan, Bob, Jimmy Bright, Jolene. We got Beef Stewie on the track. Watch out, baby. Who else we got? Covey, my man. Covey, thank you so much for helping me set this up, Covey. Appreciate you, brother. Who else? Senpai. If you're still with us, Senpai, I know you're probably taking off from work, but thank you so much, Senpai. I appreciate you joining the squad tonight. Thank you so much. I think that's almost everybody. We'll just scroll on up here, make sure we got everybody. All right. Oh, Troy. Don't want to forget Troy. Troy joined us very early today. Troy, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you joining us tonight. Joining us early. Dan, if you're still with us, Dan AU, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, Awesome Art. Oh, can't forget about the girls. Awesome Art. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good night, guys. We will see you tomorrow.